driving the green agenda. Over the next 30 minutes, this programme will look at the innovative approaches of UK businesses. As environmental issues grow in significance across the business agenda, manufacturers are under increasing pressure to find innovative new solutions to meet the demand for low-emission and environmentally friendly products. Globally, more and more consumers are concerned about the environmental impact of the products they use. Therefore, developing eco-friendly goods and services is a way to capture new markets and protect current ones.
Well, Dart is a privately held company owned by the Dart family based in Michigan, and they started their operation in 1937 with a small machine shop there making things like plastic key cases and steel tape measures and so on. And that was until the 1950s when we started experimenting with expanded polystyrene, and we started to produce a range of high quality insulated foam cups. And then in 1960 the Dart Container Corporation was formed, so we've been in business for 50 years now. We've got 20 factories right across the world, in the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Mexico, Argentina and Australia, and we employ about 7,500 people. We're a vertically integrated company, so we take control of a lot of the processes, including manufacturing our own ink and packaging film, our production equipment. We look after our own transportation and also have recycling services. So we produce around about 600 different products and sell about 125 of those here in the UK.
Well, Zock's been around now for the better part of 30 years.
There are some difficulties that we find in educating people about the environmental benefits of polystyrene. There's just so much misinformation out there, so many misconceptions about expanded polystyrene. And you know, as a rule, our industry doesn't have an awful lot of experience of advertising our products to the general public, let alone engaging them on environmental issues. So we have to think a little bit outside the box. So we do things like that, which is printing messages on our products about the environmental benefits of foam. We produce flyers, we produce posters and leaflets. Our salespeople try to educate our customers about the real environmental benefits of using expanded polystyrene as a food service disposable. In the States, we've developed a program that we refer to as CARE, C-A-R-E. It actually stands for Cups Are Recyclable. Now, we designed that for larger users of our product. If you think about colleges, hospitals, universities, they're using huge amounts of expanded polystyrene disposables. And very often they were wondering, well, what do we do with it now? So we thought, well, how about taking recycling to them? So we have a system over there whereby we lease these types of customers densifiers. Now, a densifier is a piece of machinery that simply squashes waste polystyrene into cylinders, densified cylinders, and then those cylinders can simply be backhauled to our facilities for reprocessing. It works very, very effectively. Well, expanded polystyrene is a thermoplastic. Now, what that means is it can be recycled. In fact, it's very easy to recycle, and that's a message that we're trying to get out to consumers and members of the public. I guess you could say that the biggest challenge in recycling expanded polystyrene is actually to collect it and transport it to a recycling facility. And the reason for that is it's very light, so it has to be transported, and diesel is expensive, of course. But when you look at the United States, for example, foam and paper food service products, they're the most recycled of all food service materials, so it can be done. And again, when you look at the US, there are 40 cities in California, including Los Angeles, that have residential curbside recycling. If you go north of the border into Canada, 50% of households in Ontario in Canada, and that includes the city of Toronto, have access to a foam collection program. So we're delighted to support that. And of course, there are various challenges associated with the collection of contaminated food service foam materials. And when we say contaminated, we're talking about contaminated with beverages, food, sometimes crisp packets and other materials that get in there. But we've looked at that and we've developed various solutions to that. In the early 1990s, we developed a wash-dry system for expanded polystyrene. If you ever get a polystyrene cup and you put it into a tub of water, you'll see it actually floats. So we actually had to design a wash and dry system that could cope with that and effectively clean up that sort of material. So we now offer public foam recycling drop-off locations at several of our plants and 40 drop-off locations in Michigan. At the moment here in the UK, we are really looking with interest at what's happening with our colleagues over in the United States. We've got some very interesting recycling programs that we've developed over there, and here we're currently evaluating the feasibility of replicating those recycling programs over here in the UK, and I'm pleased to say that that's going along very well. You know, we're always looking at ways in which we can reduce waste even further. Interestingly, one way that we can do that is by minimizing the weight of the product that we produce. Now, we produce foam cups by and large, and foam is very light anyway, but even at the creation stage, when we're developing our products, we make sure that the product is as light as it needs to be, but still being a very high quality and serviceable product for our consumers. Interesting when we think about how a business can play its part in minimizing its environmental impact. I suppose, you know, over the years it's transformed almost from a goodwill philosophy to an expected market condition. And we believe that businesses have a responsibility to ensure that their products and their packaging create the least impact on the environment while they're still functional for the consumer. So as a company at Dart, we try to minimize our natural resource use and our energy consumption. So we look at things like innovative heat and energy management techniques. When we're looking at our product design, we make sure they're eco-friendly. And we've really pioneered a number of recycling and take-back programs as well. And actually, we've shown that such manufacturing practices can give significant competitive advantages. Well, business, we do support industry efforts all the way around the world to minimize the quantity of packaging waste that is produced. We know it's something that's very important to members of the public as well. And we are an industry leader in the recycling of foam. In 1988, so it's just over 20 years ago now, we established a department that's dedicated to environmental issues. And that department develops environmental solutions for our customers and also for the public, and we try to provide factual information on our disposable products and the beneficial effect that they can have on the environment.
One of